So I want to show how to do this gradient mapping. So you could see this is very basic. It's a black and white texture, and then it's basically turning into this color with the gradient. And what this basically means is that I can simply just drag and drop like this to add the texture around here. So all I simply need to do is move, and then it will basically change the texture. Same with the colors. So if I make this, let's say pink, green, if I want to create like a green to bluish design, I could do that. And the way it works is I'll show a bit of the theory behind it. So you could see I've also made another one for this one. Maybe this is too much black. So you could see that you could actually control lots of the stuff. So if I maybe go in here and play this, you could see I don't need to texture it every single time or add the colors manually. I could just use like one single. So if I do this, you could see this is how it looks. I'm in low quality, so it's not going to look good because when I'm recording it slows down the PC. So again, you could see that I don't need to make like different textures. I can simply just color it directly in the material. Same with this one. If I do play, I need to save. So you can see if I slow down the time. So I am using Photopea to explain. You don't need to do this. It's just explanation. You could use Photoshop too if you want. So this is a sword trail texture video that I've already made. You could check it out. So in this sword trail, which is a completely black and white texture, there are black color. So if I go in here and then let's say click around here, you could see it shows me that it's 0. But if I click here, it says 39, which is 0.39, 0.59, 0.62, like this. Okay, so wherever there is 0, it's fully black, and wherever there is 1, so where it is fully 1, it would be fully white, and anything that is in between, which is like this colors, you could see fully white is 1, fully black is 0, middle point would be 0.5, and all this stuff. So what we can do is we can use this black and white gradient to have values and connect it with our mapping. So what that basically means is that if I add a gradient map in here, gradient map, right now there's no difference because it is doing the same stuff, right? Because 0 to 1, 0 is black, 1 is white. If I let's say do red, you could see wherever there was black, it turned to red, and then it goes from like this value, let's say, which is 0.2. So wherever there's like 0.2, 0.3, 0.5 and all that stuff, it's kind of creating this gradient or coloring it based on what the values are in here. So if I make this black, because we want this to be black, right? I'll create another stuff, and then this one I'll make it red. So you could see that because at 0 and around this much point, it's going to be black, because we are saying that wherever there is, so from 0 to 0.05, it's going to be black. Okay, and there would be slight gradient like this. Okay, so and then I can add another one, and then I can say that this one would be orangish like this, and then at the end, I don't know, you could make it black, and wherever there's like pure white to this value, so till 0.6 right now, you could see these values would be connecting to whatever the black and white values are in here. So wherever there is 0, it would be black till and then as it goes forward, you could see this color would be the same value. This one 14 would be for 0.14, and then whatever the color is in here would be for that value. So it will kind of create a gradient based on the black and white texture that is in here. So for it to work, you need to create a curve atlas. So let's do curve atlas. Basically it's nothing but something that stores different gradients. So you could call it a tutorial gradient or something. If I double click on it, it's an atlas. Atlas is nothing but a collection of, I guess, different textures that you can make or something. So in this one, it does not really have the gradient, so we need to make the gradient. So let's go in here and search for curve, and then there are like different curves, but we want a curve, this one, and then the linear color. So there is like float, vector, but we want the color one, and I'll call it like C underscore DUT1 or something. So this is the gradient that is available. You could press F to kind of, make it in screen always. So F is like shortcut to make it like this. Now this is like one gradient. We want to add it in here, so we can simply just go and say like this one plus in the atlas and say that this is the one that I want. And then you could see that if I like scroll it, you would see there's a slight 1 pixel line around here, and that is what atlases are used for. It just uses 1 pixels. So right now it is 256 by 256, but we need to make sure to change this to square resolution, not square resolution, and then say the height is just 1, and that way it's just one gradient like this. If you do 2, then it will store 2 gradients. If you do 3, it will store 3 gradients. So let's create like 2 more just to show. Let's make this, I don't know, pink. And then let me duplicate this and make this one red and save it. In here, you could simply just now add all of them. So you could see that each one contains like 1 pixels of height. So there's 1, 1, 1, and it goes left to right like this. So in your material, just search for curve atlas like this, and you could call it anything, I don't know. And then in here should be the texture that you want to use. So for me, I was using this texture, right? But you could add anything else too. So for example, if I have a cloud texture that I made, and make sure you only give it black and white values. So this one has 3 textures in it inbuilt. So you could see there is black in R channel, 1 more texture, and 3 texture in one image. This is called pack texture. You can have like multiple textures in one single image. So I just want to use the texture which is stored in R channel. Again, it is same as doing like a black and white texture. Okay. And then in the this one, curve atlas stuff, just select the one that you created, and then you will get the option to select which one you want. So let's say I want this, what do you call, pink one. And then maybe just go in here and then add it like the RGB channel to the emissive. And this is what we get. This is how the texture looks, by the way. This is how it looks, black and white. So it is basically mapping the same colors based on these values. So if I double click on this gradient, I can now press F, and then I can simply just make this, I don't know, green. I have a bluish like this, and then play around with it. So wherever there is 0, it will use this value. Wherever there is around here 0.1, 0.2, 0.5 is around here. So wherever there's 0.5, it will use this color. Wherever there is 0.9, I guess it will use this color. And then basically just create a nice gradient. So maybe if I, connect this back, and then maybe use the one that I created and use this one. For some reason, no matter what I'm doing, it's not changing. So let me just remove this and create my own. So let me just switch it back, switch to the one that I created right now, and then say use the third one. I'm just going to use this as the opacity. So now if I go down around here, You could see I've added that colors. So I don't need to create like different colors and all always. I can just use the gradient and then color it that way. Okay, that's all.